Guys, it's Wolfy-Chan, and I'm back with another anime review, and this anime is Aquarion. So, I'd watched this when I, used to have DirecTV, and they gave us, a free channel that kinda had anime on it, and the anime would change every so often, so it was kinda weird. But I got into Aquarion, and this is, the very first one in the, line of Aquarion, which I kinda started to get into Evil. Don't know if I still want to watch that or not. Kind of iffy. Which, funny enough, you can get this on Funimation now if you're a subscription. If you have a subscription, which I've paid for one. But this is Aquarion, and it is about this basically kind of like this planet that has kind of like these angel creatures or angel beings who basically want to destroy or kill all humans on the planet and give the planet back to what it originally was, which it was green, luscious, but when humans populated it, it just started to die. So we have our kind of three main characters that, are kind of a mismatch. I guess that's how this anime goes, is they're a mismatch, because it goes Sylvia, Sirius, her brother, and then our main guy, Apollo, which Apollo basically acts like a wild dog who can sniff anything, even food, from a mile away. But he's been kind of protecting his kind of little group of friends when he stumbles upon basically the Aquarion team who are destroying these, the angels' creatures and stuff like that. I can't exactly remember their name. All I know is, the main guy looks like a little bit of angel, and they're, beastmen, kind of but that's something else. But they look kind of partially like beasts. And they do not like the robot mech, which they use robot mechs to destroy the other robot mechs. It's very interesting. Who is Aquarion, who was basically a god among them. I think they were gods or something like that. And Aquarion was the most beautiful or whatever. And he found out what the people were dealing with and wanted people to live. But he also fell in love with this main woman who she gave her life and heed to her kind of thing, making this mech Aquarion. Very, very strange, very funny. Which, by the way, the mech that is Aquarion changes each, animated series. Which you would think, if they could find it on the same planet, that it would be the same. Guess not. But the funny thing about that is that the spirits of these dead people are reincarnated into new bodies and stuff, which is very interesting, because you find out that Sylvia is the female, and she thought her brother was the original angel guy, and it didn't turn like that. Apollo was the guy, who's basically her height, and her brother's taller. But as the series goes on, they all connect, and you find out that Apollo can actually use the mech that is Aquarion. And they make the strongest pairing, so they go out and usually destroy all these things. And the kind of angel god people, beastmen, basically kind of find out that Apollo is, the reincarnation of their person. So they try and steal him a couple times, and there is a lot of fighting, a lot of action, and you find out a lot more of the backstory, especially with Aquarion and all of his kind of stuff. And you find out more about Apollo and the connection he has with Sylvia, and it slowly becomes into romance, which you'd think, really? Very random, but, it's still cool, still interesting. And especially as you get closer and closer to the end of the series, I didn't think of this as, a really interesting series, because I'm not that much into mechs. I did get into it with Evangelion, but Evangelion I thought was kind of very different than most of the mech series that you see today, especially today. But I started falling in love with the characters and got into the fights with them. So I kind of fell in love with Aquarion. As I'm, watching, the next series of it, it's very different. They didn't really follow the same storyline with each of them, and like the same person isn't the same reincarnation of like the god guy and the woman who kind of saved the world kind of people. Like they get into different bodies and stuff, but it seems very strange. But this is very touching, especially when it got to the end, which I'm not going to spoil because this was a really, really touching anime. Like, as it got to the end, I didn't want what happened to happen in Aquarion because there's a lot of fights, and there's only really one mech, but everyone kind of pilots the parts when they need to, and there's different pairings of them and stuff like that. And the funny thing is that when they pair, or the robot fuses into Aquarion, it's like Bow Chicka Wow Wow. I didn't know if they implied that, but it's like Bow Chicka Wow Wow. So it's really, really interesting. And kind of weird. Especially when you know that the three people that we follow, which is Sirius, Sylveon, Apollo, the two of them are brother and sister. But they don't, like, feel it for each other. It's just a feeling, which is creepy. So, yeah, it's very, very strange, very weird. But I did really enjoy this anime. Like I said, it does have story development. It does have mechs and the fighting and the scenes. I'm going to recommend this more for 18 and over, because I can't remember if there was blood, but there was violence and stuff like that. So, I really wouldn't want anybody that's younger to watch all the violence and all that good stuff. But I definitely liked this anime. And this anime was very interesting. And I would recommend this, guys or girls over 18, to watch at least the first, like, this Aquarion. If you guys want me to review Aquarion Evil, and as I finish that one, I can. If you guys want me to, definitely leave it in the comment section below. This is Aquarion. It's like I said, it's not a bad anime. Would recommend 18 over, girls or guys, because there is good story elements, and because the characters slowly evolve from what they were in the very beginning, which was very disjointed, I'll say, from each other. It's very different. So, if you like this video, definitely leave a like. Leave it down in the comment section below. Who was your favorite character, or have you seen this anime? Mine actually has to be Sirius, the older brother. He's so different, and just so intriguing. And when you actually find out everything about him, like the whole thing about them, it's very, very interesting. And that's kind of why I like Sirius so much. And definitely subscribe, because I do make videos every day of either anime, manga, something new, something old, or just something different in between. And if you guys want to follow me on Twitter or Facebook, I have the links down below. And I hope that you are having a wonderful, wonderful day. It kind of snow rained for a while. God, the weather here. Wolfy-Chan out. Bye, guys.